your life will keep on feeling like a failure to you until and unless you truly accept what is happening to you. For example, when I went through when I was decided to get the divorce, and at the same time I couldn't find a job because I just came out of my maternity leave, so nobody wanted to hire me. And then at the same time, I got served papers from a car accident I had the year before. And then there was other things as well, which I'm not going to get into. But at that moment, I really, really felt like a failure. I felt like I just sucked as a human, that I failed in life as a person, as a mother. I just failed. And I've come to realize that every single hardship, every single challenge in your life is going to ask you to grow a pair of balls. It's like literally it's asking you to be somebody that you never have been. It's asking you to completely transform in that moment when you get something ridiculous like a paper from, I don't know, is it the lawyers that send it to you? When you get served papers that you owe XYZ amount of money. In that moment, of course, I had my cry and I had my whys and all of that. But in that moment, I could feel my body literally shedding this old version, this weak version, this person that no longer served me. I had to shed, like it was like a snake, and I was, releasing my old skin. It really felt like that. And the reason why I'm bringing this up, and I'm sure everybody's tired of me talking about the same story. I have more stories, but that's just the one that has been the most recent. And I feel like it wakes people up the fastest when I talk about divorce and all these other things, because it's literally the most difficult thing you can go through as a human. And yes, in that moment, I couldn't have been like, thank you, Lord, for this atrocity that is happening, this destruction, this unraveling. Thank you. I couldn't have said that in that moment, because I was literally just trying to hold on. I was like, just hold on tight and just survive. And that's okay if you're in that position, because that happens to a lot of us. I don't think anybody goes through life without some major challenges, some atrocities, some disappointments. This is the definition of life. We come here, our soul reincarnates into this earth, and I'm sure different planets as well, in order. And apparently, by the way, Earth, and I keep on hearing this because as you guys know, I love hearing near-death experiences, but Earth is the hardest school. And yes, it's a school. You're here to learn. Your soul is here to evolve. And why? And I really have, I have a good answer for you guys. The reason why this happens, I know I'm totally going off the charts. The reason why this happens, we come into this earth, is because, think about it for a second. Just give it a little thought. When you're with God in heaven, and you have the most amount of love, you have just everything that you possibly could, but 1,000,000 times amplified. As a parent, eventually, I'm a mom to a 4-year-old, my daughter, at some point, I don't know, I haven't reached that point yet, but at some point, she's going to say, I got to go, Mom. Whatever you taught me, I got to use that now in the real world. And as a parent, I have to let her go, to make her own mistakes and have her own realizations, to figure out life for herself. And that is exactly what God does to us. He lets us go. He lets us free, gives us free will in this world to make mistakes, to choose to make a decision for ourselves. Because if he was right next to us, it would be really difficult for us to make mistakes. We're never going to learn. And that really it took me out. that explanation, I was like, that makes so much sense. The reason why I bring this up is because when I was in the world of law of attraction, and I mean, we all are, it's not something you can exit, right? You're always manifesting, you're always attracting. But when I was in it, I had this false notion that I just need to say positive affirmations, and I just need to not listen to the bad news, and I just have to just just shield me from all of that. And I wish, sometimes I wish I could do that, but I cannot because you're a human being. I thought that you had to constantly be positive all the time, say your affirmations. And again, I agree with a lot of the things, but I also, from my own personal experience, what has helped me is when I'm going through a difficult time and things are not going my way and everything is falling apart and I feel isolated, like I'm the only person in the entire universe that is going through this. And I'm sure you can resonate with that. Only when I truly accepted the facts of what is happening around me, only when I truly accepted, you know what? I can't pay my fucking rent this month. And this is where I am. I've lost all my money and I am barely, surviving. I'm barely making it. But for whatever reason, God is protecting me. God is helping me. That could be your story. It could be anybody's story. It was my story for a very long time. And only once I truly accepted, and when you accept also, there is a element of surrendering. You're surrendering to life and you're like, you know what? I am not doing that great right now. Things are falling apart and I am trying to survive. But this is life and this is where I am right now. But I am grateful to breathe. I am grateful to be able to walk, to have fingers. I don't know. Life is meant to challenge you. We have it wrong. We all have life completely wrong. It is meant to confuse you. It is meant to cause you some amount of suffering. But there's also miracles that happen in this world. Even though it looks confronting and scary and chaotic at times, but at the same time, there's also unconditional love that we can't even sometimes fathom. There is miracles that happen all the time and we don't really talk about it because you're just like, oh, it's a coincidence. It's like, it's these things happen or whatever. But the negative stuff in our life, we blast it out and we have to talk about it. And that's what we see in the news constantly. So it's really easy for us to talk about all the negatives and forget all about the positives. So what I have learned is that it really has to do with how you view things in life, how you perceive and see things and what you make out of life and what you truly believe about life. For example, the time when I couldn't pay my rent, I was annoyed, I was frustrated, all those things. But when it kept on happening over and over again and when I just could not find a job, I had to find some sort of peace and surrender to what is happening in front of me. And I know some people will not understand it because they're going to think, well, just try harder and just be more stressed. But that is the complete opposite of what we're meant to do. The more stressed I got, the more anxious I got, the more, I kept on thinking about the future. If I don't do this, I won't be able to pay my rent. And then, oh my God, and this is going to happen. And, you go into this really dark town and you think of all the bad things that can happen to you. But we never kind of think about, well, what if somebody, just someone in my family just gives me $50,000? What if this could happen? Like, we never think about the positives in our lives. But after I went through my tough time, and I feel like a lot of people can resonate with this, when you go through a tough time in your life, the worst of the worst, and you think this is impossible, I can't get through this. This is too much for me as a human. I cannot deal with it. And then you do. You figure out a way. You do whatever it takes to figure shit out. And so now, when I look back at my life, and if I'm going through a challenge, I'm like, wait a second. I have gone through way worse in my life and I've made it out, even when I thought I wouldn't. So what makes me think that I can't make out of this now? Why is God going to abandon me now? It just doesn't make any sense, but we as humans come up with this shit in our heads. My main message in this video, I know I went off on a tangent. Sometimes, when I make videos, I'm like, I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about. I just let it flow. And I'm glad that you guys are watching. Somebody's watching out there. Probably my mom and my uncle or something. But anyways, my main message is to accept what you're going through. You get a disease, you accept it. This is what it is. You don't have to stay in that and be like, okay, that's it. I have 6 months to live and that's it. And so my main message is to accept what you're going through and also focus on your perception. Don't focus on what is happening around you. Focus on how you're viewing this challenge. Are you looking at every challenge and every setback in your life as a failure? Then you're going to really hate life, because life is always going to be doing that to you. I mean, at least for me, I went through so much rejection in life, and I still do all the time. And for whatever reason, I keep going. What really helped me is praying to God. And I know a lot of people think prayer is like, it's not that strong, but no, your prayers, they are so freaking powerful. And I recently watched a video of this guy who was talking about how to pray. I'm going to make a video on that, because I recently changed it up as well. I'll talk about this in another video. Here are some quotes I would like to share with you guys. From the Bible, Romans 12, verse 2. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. If you're thinking the same way for the past 20, 30 years, there's something that needs to get looked at. Okay. The next one is from Siddhartha. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Siddhartha Gautama. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. All that we are is the result of what we have thought. And lastly is a quote from Zarathustra. Learn with your ears the best things. Reflect upon them with a clear mind. Then let each person choose their path. That is beyond. And you know that's from God, because God has given us free will to do as we please, even though it's hard to watch sometimes. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate every single person that has hit subscribe. Please continue to do so if you're watching my videos on a regular and you resonate with what I'm saying, or maybe you don't, I don't know. If you're tired of choosing people and situations that are costing you your self-respect, and you're ready for a relationship where you don't need to shrink in order to be chosen, then you can apply for a clarity session. The link is down below or in my bio. See you in my next one.